Yeah. So even though yesterday I was like, man, it's gonna be rough because just like I know,
Yeah,
I'm,
yeah,
I'm very private.
yeah. You're busy.
I'm very private and busy,
Yeah.
and I'm grateful for the opportunity, man, to not only come in and be on this podcast,
Mm.
but also to support you.
Appreciate that, man.
Like, because at the end of the day, we all need support. At the end of the day, no matter from the biggest support to the smallest support, we need every bit. Because without a solid foundation, we ain't got nothing.
Right.
So that foundation is support. So,
So let's get into it, man. I
uh-oh.
have a way of doing stories here on this show, and we're gonna get to that part. But I do want to go to the story part of how we met.
Ooh,
So,
what,
you know,
2006,
somewhere around there.
somewhere in there,
Yeah.
somewhere in there.
We met at the radio station,
Yeah,
and I was introduced to you through Tasha Simone
right,
and Tracy Harder,
right.
right?
And Jane,
And Jane. Yeah, yeah. And Jane. And Jane.
And Jane.
Listen, that's a whole nother, that's my baby.
Yes, and
But
Jane,
Jane, if you're watching this show,
yes, all three of them.
yeah, Tracy.
Kisses, whatever he
Yes.
just did.
Listen, that's your camera. But I'm trying to get Tracy and her husband on.
That'd be dope.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Tracy's
they
really-
Tracy, this is gonna be a good one.
Yeah, great
Yeah.
in real estate.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, she
From what I've
doing her
seen.
thing. And I would love to get Tasha on too.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I love because Tasha got a great story too. She taught me a lot too.
All right.
But I met you at Hot 1077
Yeah,
here in Birmingham, Alabama, right?
right.
And what if people don't know, when the Steve Harvey show first started before it was getting started, right? You were one of the voices, with you and Sly King. Y'all was one of the voices. You was actually producing some of the Steve Harvey morning show.
Yeah, I assisted. I
Right.
was an assistant producer. Sly
Yeah.
was the main producer.
Right.
He did his thing.
Yeah.
Like, and I kind of took over the afternoon, but we kind of took our jobs at the same time as
Yeah.
the station was starting.
Yeah.
So it actually worked out. And the funny thing, I think the station just celebrated I think May 1st was 20 years, which is still kind of cool because it's rare.
You was a big part of that. Y'all were.
Yeah, it was a team effort.
Yeah,
It
man.
wasn't just me. It was a whole team effort.
When 107 used to pull up, man, somewhere, bro, it'd be crowds of folks. Every people don't remember with radio, man. Radio was the thing,
Oh God,
bruh.
so much fun.
Because you was the guy with the event van
Yes.
that drove the event van and gave out all all the stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
hey, if y'all want to know, that's how I got so much 107 stuff.
Yeah. Man, I miss radio.
But man, you and me, I loved radio. But that's when I met you. But then, because sometimes you can meet people in radio and it's a flyby.
Right.
I don't know what stuck with us, right?
Right.
But I think because of my craft at the time, I was into construction, right? And
Yeah.
then people from the radio station wanted me to do things at their home. So I kind of kept tabs with everybody from that
Of
point
course,
in
because
the beginning.
we watched what you did in construction. I watched you transform our entire commercial building
Right.
to something into what it was.
Yeah.
I watched that. I
Yeah.
watched you on your hands and knees taking stuff off the walls. I
Yeah.
watched you paint walls. I saw you fix this and fix that. I saw that for myself. So
Yeah.
y'all don't let this white jacket. Oh, this is my camera over here. This little white jacket, clean jacket, fool you. This man has worked on my house in detail. Like, so don't let
People don't. You remember this when I first got my first opportunity with my big contract. I really didn't have any clothes. I came up to Hot 107 in a
you wore the same 3 outfits.
yeah.
I know. I remember that. Same 3. and there was actually, I think it was all the same shirt, just
Wow.
different pants.
Hey
I'm just
man.
being honest.
Hey man. Because I was learning the business at the time, and I
Right.
watched what y'all were doing. You know what I mean? So I want to go back to, and I just want to give people a shout out how when we go through this timeline, how me and him are such good friends. But I
Mhm.
really want to get people, because I don't know a lot of this stuff, so I really want to take us
Uh-oh.
back a little bit, right?
Uh-huh.
So I want to go back to when Big Rob was Lil Rob. Okay.
Lil Rob.
So,
Okay.
Lil Rob. So I want to take you
Okay.
back. Let's go back to, let's say, when you was 10 years old.
Okay.
Where did you grow up at?
I grew up. I'm originally from Selma, Alabama. That's where I'm from originally.
Okay.
And also, I'm gonna claim Browns, Boca Chico, Alabama. Also, that's
Okay.
where my grandparents live.
Where the hell is that, sir?
That's about. As a matter of fact, you ever heard of Uniontown?
Yeah.
Okay, you heard of Uniontown. You heard of Selma.
Yeah.
Browns is right there in the middle.
So they got
County
3
Road
people
3.
that live there.
Hey man, don't chill out. It's about 17. It's
How
about
many
7
traffic lights?
There's no traffic lights. Not a single one. That's I'm gonna claim Selma. We had a house in Selma, but we spent as much time as my grandmother's house.
Right.
So grandfather's house.
So Selma,
which is my grandfather's my hero.
Right.
Of all heroes in the world besides the Lord, and then him.
Grandpa.
Yeah. So that's where I started.
So mom and dad in the house.
Yeah.
Single parents.
Yeah, it was a 2-parent household. My dad was in the military, so he wasn't there a whole lot until I was about to graduate high school. So, we spent a lot of time. Well, I spent a lot of time growing up and, trying to raise and grow up at the same time.
How many brothers and sisters?
I had an older sister. She passed away, but I have a younger brother and sister now. Okay. Yeah, they're doing well for each other, doing well for themselves. So,
Right.
Yeah, my brother, he's I'm super, super proud of him, and my sister too. So I'm super proud of both of them. So
I want to ask you this question, man. Were you good in school?
Was I good in school?
Yeah, were you A's and B's or you was horrible? Because I think your ass was bad.
Horrible.
Yeah.
It's not because I couldn't do it. Yeah. I was lazy.
And why were you lazy? Because nobody pushed you or you just lazy?
Just lazy.
Okay.
Just lazy. And I could have done way better. When I wanted to make honor roll, I made it. When I didn't, I didn't.
So let me ask you this question, man. I'm going to be a little bit serious. Did you graduate?
Did I what?
Did you graduate?
Not on time, but I did. But I did graduate.
Okay. So you graduated?
I graduated.
You graduated from elementary. How many years it took you?
Yep. I think it was 6th grade. Yeah, I think it was 6th grade in elementary. Yeah.
How many years it took you?
I think it was 6th. I think it was.
You go to 8. You go to 8. You go to 8 years.
No, I'm thinking my elementary school. We went to 1st to 5th. I think middle school was.
So y'all did middle school. I went to the one that went all the way through.
Nah. We had elementary, middle, and then high school.
Okay. So which one took you the longest?
Oh no, I still had my time. High school took me the longest.
So how many years took you to go to high school?
I did it 4 years in a semester. I had to go back for that second time.
And
get it. But I went back and I got it.
You went back and got it.
Yeah.
So when did things start to change for you? Was it in high school? When you decided, okay, I need to do something with myself?
Oh, when I need to do something with myself?
Yeah.
Ooh. I don't even know if I need to share this publicly, but I've never said this ever publicly.
Nobody never asked you the question, sir.
Yeah, that's true too. And plus I'm never sitting on this side.
Exactly.
And I'm gonna be honest.
Please do, sir. It's Coffees and Conversations.
This is gonna be crazy.
All right.
I can't believe I'm about to say this out loud. All right, so basically I was kind of lazy and didn't do a lot of stuff I should have done, and I understand that. And I just remember the day that me and my dad, we had a conversation. And he took me out in the backyard by the old car.
Okay.
And he said to me, we didn't think he was gonna do nothing in life. And no, dead serious.
Okay.
And he says, you gotta do 2 things: either get your grades together, or go to the army, because we ain't got no money for college.
Damn.
That's exactly what he said.
I gotta give you that Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's a real thing.
That's a real thing right there.
And at that moment, so many things played back in my head. I said, you know what? Got it. And I knew.
How old were you when you did it?
Oh, I was it was the summer of my 11th grade year going into my 12th grade year.
See how you remember exactly where you was?
Yeah, I know exactly what it was.
What were you wearing that day?
I was wearing a red t-shirt and some jogging pants.
Right.
And I was leaning against my mom's red car. He was leaning against his brown car.
What was the temperature outside?
I don't know. We was hot.
And the reason why I ask those questions, because those moments that define you, remember them very vividly. You can forget a lot of stuff.
You remember that? Because that was a pivotal moment in my upbringing. Because I knew that I had to be different at that moment.
Can I ask you this question, Rob?
Go for it. Oh, here we go.
How did he say it to you?
Oh, he was being sincere.
Was he like, like, son, you talk to you, or like, son?
Yeah, it was more like, son. It was like he had to break the bad news. Because he saw that, I'm pretty sure he saw that toward my end of my 11th grade year. I started to straighten it because I wanted to.
Right.
Because, I've been lazy.
Right.
Right.
So Daddy said, we thought you weren't going to do this, so we had to worry about it. But now I started seeing you doing something, son.
Yeah.
We ain't prepared. We weren't prepared for that.
We weren't prepared for that.
How did that make you feel?
Man, honestly, that was a pretty hurtful moment. Let me just say it defined me a lot.
Yeah.
And but it made me better.
So were you angry with your dad because of what they thought of you? Because that's your dad saying, like, bro, we didn't think you were gonna be about nothing for real.
It hurt later. It didn't hurt at the moment because I didn't understand it.
Mm.
I didn't understand it. It was more of when I heard it, it was more of this is what I got to do.
Mm.
This is the situation. Okay, cool. And I didn't know the magnitude of how that would change everything. So
what made you change? So after that, you had the conversation with dad, right? Red jogging pants. You feeling some kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
What were your thoughts and actions after that?
My thoughts and actions after that?
Yeah, when it hit you, like, okay, you just sit here and told me that I ain't finna be nothing and you ain't got nothing for me. So what when that kicked in for you, what was your actions?
Actually, it didn't kick in until another year and a half later.
True, I can understand that. Yeah.
Yeah, so
because that's that your dad saying it to you, so you're not taking it the way that it was actually
right.
Yeah.
Right. So it did. When it finally kicked in, that was the kick in the behind I needed. Let me just say that.
Okay.
And that drives me. That moment actually drives me to this moment.
Right.
Like right now, like it plays in my head at least 4 or 5 times a week.
That's that thought you have in your head that
right.
You know when something's going wrong, y'all thought I wasn't gonna be there. Watch this.
Now let me put my foot on your neck.
Yeah.
That's just where
so when you graduated, was mom and dad there at the graduation?
No. Actually, so what happened was my mother was really sick at the time. So and my dad was just not getting home and he was kind of sick too. So, but no, nobody was there. Well, let's just say when I went back, I didn't have a traditional graduation because I had to go back a semester later and get it. So I didn't get the pomp and circumstance of the graduation robe and all that good stuff. But I went back, I got the actual sheet of paper. I got all that. So good. But my family was there at my college graduation. So I did graduate college. So
you went to college?
Yeah. You know why I turned this doggone camera over?
Wait a minute. I know what college you went to? What college took you?
Concordia College in Selma.
Hold on. What college was low enough that you could get into?
Oh wow. I went to
I
went to Joe Locke University. Yeah. I went to Joe Locke University.
Hey, all you gotta do is drink coffee.
That's it. And you can get in.
You can get in.
And look, by the way, thank you for making me buy my own coffee this morning. I appreciate that. It's pretty good too.
Well, you're the only person I ever made buy coffee because I don't like you.
I don't like you either.
That's okay.
But I see you at the house this weekend.
Yeah. But you still gonna pay for that coffee. You still gonna pay for that coffee.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Did you have to pass the test to get into college?
No. I applied.
You applied?
I applied. I even, for me, I didn't have. My parents didn't have any of that.
Right.
And between me graduating high school and entering college, I lost my mother.
Sorry.
In the middle of that.
Yeah.
So, and my dad was in a different situation. So I ended up applying for college on my own and paying for it on my own. I paid for college every semester.
How did you pay for it?
Oh man, God, he took care of that between Pell Grants and knowing people to allow me to make payments. That's how it worked out. I don't have any college debt right now because I pay for it semester by semester.
Wow. So let me ask you this question. What did you go to? And I'm being facetious, but I'm being truthful at the same time. What did you go to college for?
Really? Really? Okay.
Because I don't know.
Okay. Here we go. First major, which I only took one semester of. I said, forget that after that. Was I wanted to be a teacher. I wanted to follow my mom's footsteps.
Okay.
And when I took the class, the history and philosophy of education, I knew it wasn't for me.
Okay. Gotcha.
I remember the class very vividly.
Yeah.
The history and philosophy of education. After that, I said, this ain't for me. And then I went back for business management.
Okay.
Did that. Got that little sheet of paper. Then I moved to Birmingham. And I wanted a certificate or certification in radio.
Mm-hmm.
So I went over to Lawson State. I didn't have to do as long because I had all my other credits. I just had to do those primary core classes to get that. So then I went to Lawson State and got a certificate in radio and TV broadcasting.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So how old were you when you got your when you graduated from college? Your first college?
First one, I don't know. I guess 20, 21, 22, somewhere in there.
Then you went to Lawson State.
Yeah.
And right after, or a little bit of time after that?
Oh no, actually, I worked in retail for a little while.
Okay.
After I moved to Birmingham, I worked in retail for a little while and went to college almost simultaneously.
Gotcha.
Because I'm a workaholic.
So when you was in college, I'm being honest here. I'm not even joking here. When you was in college, what did you want to do after college?
Honestly, I didn't know. Only thing I knew I wanted to do at birth that I knew that I wanted to do was radio.
Wow.
That's the only thing I ever knew I wanted to do.
So why was it that you wanted to do radio? What was the radio bug?
Oh man, honestly, it was just in me. Like my mom was an educator. She was up early.
Mm-hmm.
She got up before Larry Morris came on. Larry Morris is the local talk radio back home.
Yeah,
he was on at 5.
Mm-hmm.
So she was up before him, and I would get up so I can hear his intro every morning. Every morning I would wake up just so I could hear the intro, and just listen to him talk. And I was very active radio listener, and I wanted to pattern him and a few other DJs.
Right.
And so that's what I wanted to do.
Wow. Yeah. We have talked a lot of crap and talked some serious talks, but I never knew that you really wanted to be in radio.
Yeah, that was my ultimate goal, man. It was to actually just be on the radio and do all this other stuff. I wanted to be the syndicated Tom Joyner at the time. That's what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted. But thanks to my good friend, I don't even know if I should call his name, but he taught me an important lesson. You know, find your niche and fill it.
Yeah.
Everybody's not meant to be a star.
That sounds like something Lawrence would say.
I didn't want to call his name, but since you did.
Why come I knew? Yeah. Why come I knew? Because he be dropping whiz. Because that's the same thing he told me. When I first got it, because I was doing the construction thing, but then when I went into radio, you know, me and him had this conversation, and Lawrence, if you're watching, you know something, it would be cool.
You need to get him on here.
Yeah, but you know what would be cool is to have you, Sly, Tasha.
It wouldn't be an interview. It'd be a whole fool. We just have a doggone party,
bruh. Because man, Lawrence is the one, and I use this to this day. If you're watching, Big Dog, love you. I appreciate you, Lawrence.
For sure.
He said, he was talking about radio, right? He said, if you really want to be a really good radio talk show host, Joe, name your audience.
That's it.
He said, figure out who they want to be, give the woman a name, and give the man a name. Okay?
That's real.
I teach that to this day, right? Mm-hmm. And he said, when the phones is not ringing and you're sitting in a room by yourself, that's who you're talking to. You make your content for those people, for those two people. He said, do not go back on that microphone or don't get on that microphone if you don't know who your audience is.
That's it.
I teach that to this day.
That's a real thing.
Right.
And then honestly, anybody who wants to build a business, everybody wants to be an entrepreneur, which I get. I understand. Someone. You got to name a person. You got to have somebody you talking to, somebody you targeting every single moment of your life. A lot of people think, oh, let me do this one and done. Nah. One and done, I don't get it.
Yeah.
This person's got to be Sally. She's got to do this, work there, do this, do that. And you got to talk to this person every
single day.
And that's not just in radio. That's
in life.
In life.
Yep.
And in business.
Yep.
You got to have all that together. So,
but you know, sometimes I say this to the younger generation, and even sometimes people our age, and it goes over their head because they have an idea what they want, and then they wonder why they fail. Mm-hmm. Because, like I tell people, focus. You see me do this, right? And it looks easy. Because I'm good at what I do, right? And
some say that.
But I do this because I have an audience. Yeah. I know who I'm talking to.
Yeah.
Right. I know exactly. You have to imagine yourself as you're speaking that you're listening. Right.
Yeah.
And what questions or what would they want you to say?
Right.
So you got to be doing two things at the same time when you're doing this kind of work. And there's nothing lonelier than it's two things that's lonely in media. People don't realize this is really hard work. If you're sitting in a room with a microphone and your producer points at you and you got to start talking. Right. Immediately.
Yeah.
And there's a difference between a radio talk show host and a DJ.
Huge difference.
Because the ones that spin the records, I'm not because my friends, but the people who you hear during the daytime, they speak for about in an hour time. They maybe speak 15, 20 minutes at the most. If
not even that long.
You know what I'm saying? Because they talking between breaks.
Yeah, maybe 5.
Right. 5. And it's pretty much scripted for the most part what they're going to say.
I wouldn't even say 5.
Yeah, probably so.
I'll say max because Well, I don't know what the new standard is. I've been out of radio now 3 years.
Right.
It may be when I was in it, maybe per hour,
Mm.
2 to 7 tops.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe 6.
Yeah.
So
Because based on what they're doing.
Right.
So when you're a radio talk show host,
you doing them and talking.
you're talking, and my job or your job is to make the phones ring.
Yeah, that's what you do.
Yeah. That's what I
Because
did
I
for
found
years.
myself tuning into you, and I'm not your target audience.
No.
I am
you,
not.
But you would call me and say, all right,
No,
I don't like nothing you said, but you're doing your thing.
you're
bro.
all right.
You keep doing your
You
thing.
okay?
Yeah.
You all
And
right.
I appreciate you for that. So when you was in college, you said you went for business. You went to Law State for communication.
Uh-huh.
You want to be the next Tom Joyner,
Mhm.
Ricky Smiley, Steve Harvey. That's what you want to be. You
In
know what
that
I'm saying?
area, yeah.
In that area. What changed?
I got humbled real quick.
How so?
So at the time, Lawrence, which is he's like a brother to me. Like he's like a big brother. Somebody I can call 24/7.
Man, I love that. dude.
24/7.
And I don't know what it is about him. He gonna give you some solid advice.
Right,
He like
every
Martha
time.
Stewart,
Right.
Barbara Walters TikTok stuff.
I don't know what he's doing, but he's doing it. You know, and I appreciate him for that. And that's why I'll be there for him whenever he calls.
Anything he ever need.
Anytime.
Anything.
24/7. So one day I think we were in between program directors at the radio station.
Uh-huh.
He was the marketing director. He says, "Hey man, you want to be on the radio? Cool." He said, "Meet me here this time of night. Let's do it." I said, "Cool." I was
Ready.
ready. Thought I was the man right here.
Yeah.
He says, "There you go. Take it." Most humbling experience ever.
You know, there's somebody producing this show
Ooh.
that
I was like, "No." I choked, bro. I choked. And at that point, I knew. I said, that was humbling. I needed that at the moment. I did. And I'm glad he did. But it also gave me an opportunity to realize that in what we do, not in this case, because you're independent in those big corporate companies, that the radio DJs, the talent are replaced quicker than producers. Talent's gone today. That producers usually stay there for a
That's
lot
Michael
longer.
Basin.
Right, correct. So guess what? I was like, let me find a niche that I can stay a little bit longer. And I'm a big shout out to my man JJ Pruitt, Fox 6.
Yeah.
That's
Good friend of
another
ours.
one. Look.
Solid.
When I was early in radio, he said, "Man, look, let me give you some advice." He says, "Learn all you can learn, do all you can do." And at the end of the day, if they fire you or they get rid of you, they got to replace 6 of you. They got to hire 6 people to replace 1.
Wow. That's good. That's good. That's good advice.
He said, "Learn everything." So I learned everything. I think I done everything in radio, but the actual programming and sales.
That was Tracy.
Yeah,
And programming was Jane.
No, programming at the time. Oh, it's program directors. No, that was who was program? I think
Was it
LJ.
Oh,
LJ.
LJ. That's my.
Make
I
sure-
forgot about. We can't forget about
I
LJ.
would never forget about
That's the coolest man. Listen, 107 during that time had the best staff in the world.
I agree.
That team right there, bro, that y'all had. I don't
Yes.
care globally. That
We were
station
tough.
right there, bro.
We were tough.
Yeah.
We were tough.
Yeah.
'Cause we all knew our strengths.
And Jane let y'all do it.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
Jane was the money person.
But she knew how to make the money. She
Mhm.
knew what she was doing. Listen,
Yeah,
if
money
Jane
ain't
is
got
watching,
nothing.
I love to sit down with her right now because she'll whip us all into shape.
Well, she probably retired doing
Yeah, she
nothing.
probably ain't do. She don't need to.
Right at this point.
I know she don't need to. Man,
Man,
but
that was good time.
that was some real good times.
You just brought up so many memories in my head just now. We're gonna
Right.
talk offline about some of these.
So, how did you get the job at 107?
Oh man, actually, that was a funny story too. Because I'm gonna go back to radio. That's something that I always wanted to do.
Mhm.
Was radio from A to Z.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna go back even further.
Okay.
So I wanted to be in radio. I was one to calling it for all the contests. I did all of that because I wanted to win, because I wanted to go pick up my prizes. Whether it was a bookmark or whatever, I wanted it. You know,
Right.
yeah. Whether it was a tape, or, you know, sometimes it was at the time it was tapes. It wasn't really CDs.
Right.
So I wanted to be in radio. So I went over one day this is random,
Mhm.
random. I went over to my friend Jody's house. Jody's a guy. Well, if I say truck, Jody, same person. I went over to Jody's house and just talking to him in his front yard. And next door, he said, Jody says to the man next door, "How you doing, Mr. Morris?" And I heard his voice.
Right.
I heard Mr. Morris's voice next door. And I realized that's Larry Morris from the radio station that lives next door to my friend.
Right.
I was like, wow. Like, I didn't know.
Right.
So that kind of fueled that fire to be in radio. So fast forward, I get to Lawson State. I'm 2 semesters in because it was a 4-semester course.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm 2 semesters in, and my professor dies. Crazy that my professor died. And come to find out that my professor, Mr. Dance, was actually best friends with my dad. They were from the same hometown, lived down the street from each other growing up.
Wow, look at it.
Yeah, so my professor that passed, Mr. Dance, was one of my dad's friends. So he passed in the middle of it. So the replacement professor walks in, and he was like, I told him, he saw how passionate I was about doing what I wanted to do. Because when I put my mind to something, I'm going to do it.
Yes.
At the end of the day.
Yeah.
One way or another, it's going to get done. So he walked in. He says, "You know what? I need you to meet me in Tuscaloosa." I said, "Meet you in Tuscaloosa?" He says, "Yeah, I got somebody I want you to meet." I said, "Okay." It's kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
I drove to Tuscaloosa.
Right.
Met him in Tuscaloosa. He says, "I want to introduce you to a lady named Michelle Miller."
Okay.
Michelle Miller is somebody who I used to listen to, who did news and traffic reporting on WTUG out of Tuscaloosa. I could pick up that station in Selma.
Right.
So she introduced me, and I was like, "Man, who's Michelle Miller? I've been listening to her all these years." I'm like, "Ooh, weird."
That's where I was when I met Tasha.
Right. So I'm shocked.
Yeah.
And then she was like, "You know what? There's a new station that I'm going to in Birmingham. I want to introduce you to somebody in Birmingham." She introduced me to Lawrence.
Wow.
Michelle,
is there anybody that dude don't know?
Don't know. I don't know. Like, she introduced me to Lawrence.
Right.
And long story short, as far as radio is concerned, I didn't like it, but I understand it now. Lawrence gave me a runaround. I'm trying to get. He gave
Wait
me
a minute, not Lawrence?
Yeah, he gave me the when we first met. Yeah, he gave me the runaround, like big time. So I would call. He was like, he gave me a whole bunch of tasks to do. I did everything, but he wouldn't answer the phone.
He wanted to see how bad you wanted it.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
He wanted to see how bad you wanted it.
So I was smart one day. I was listening to the station. I said, "Well, he's been out in these streets all these days. Where is he?" So I was just listening when I found out where he was. I pulled up. He says, "Okay, cool." He gave me another task. Goes to me again. The last one, he couldn't because I wasn't gonna let it go. So that's and from that point on, it's been nothing but good stuff.
But I guarantee you, the reason why he did that, he wanted to see how bad you wanted it.
Right. And I'm the same way now with people who want my help. You know, I'm gonna help you, but I've worked too hard all these years just to say, "Here you go."
Let me ask you this question, man. And thank you for coming on the show. If you guys just liking him, man, I got the one and only Big Rob ever. He's in the building, man. Y'all know him from 3 Shots Photo. That's
Shots on 3, get it right.
Shots on 3.
Yeah, Shots on 3.
I got it wrong, so you're correct.
There you go.
What is it? Shots on 3?
Yes.
And you the head janitor.
Head janitor.
Rob is in the building. He's taking on my show.
Yes. I can't believe I'm talking this much. This is weird.
You want to keep going? Go ahead.
Keep going. I'm listening.
All right.
I was just shocked I was talking this much.
Keep talking.
About what?
Whatever. All right, y'all. I'm gonna give you a Lawrence moment up in here. So you guys are like that, man. It's you're listening to Coffee Conversation. Hope you guys enjoying your coffee. We're down here live at the Filter Coffee Party this morning. Man, the coffee is good. How do you like the coffee?
Man, this coffee's off the chain.
You like it?
Oh, it's off the chain.
Okay, you know I'm about to get my own coffee, right?
You was telling me earlier.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna buy some.
Okay.
I encourage everybody to do it. Actually, everybody come support this venue. I mean, this
Filter Coffee Parlor.
Yeah,
Filter Coffee Parlor.
It's good. I'm a coffee connoisseur.
Yeah.
I got coffee. Actually, I was going through my collection last night.
I
got coffee from Honduras, Hawaii, a lot of different places.
Yeah. I love coffee, man. So if you guys are liking it right now, man, make sure you click share, subscribe to the LIM Network on YouTube. Follow us on social medias at LIM or Joe Lockett Show. Follow us everywhere. You don't want to miss out on anything that we do because our network is one of the baddest networks out there. And of course, it houses the Coffee and Conversation Show. And today in the building is my man, Mr. Rob Everett. As I say, CEO, philanthropist, head janitor, all that good stuff.
Yes.
And the part I want to get to your story now is, and I never have asked you this.
Uh-oh.
Do you have any kids?
No.
Is there a particular reason why?
Oh, God is amazing.
Okay. Okay.
That's my Keith Lee answer.
Okay.
God
Okay.
is amazing.
So, and the other thing I did not ask you when we were talking, right? Did you fall in love earlier in college, in high school, sweetheart? Did you fall in love?
No, I don't.
Oh,
think
you
I
are
had-
just acting? Are you just clowning?
Yeah, I was shy for the most part, believe it or not.
Really?
Very shy. Man, believe it or not, you know this.
Yeah.
I'm an introvert.
Yeah.
Naturally, I'm an introvert.
Yeah. You're an introvert. Yeah.
My career and what in my career choices made me become an extrovert.
I think you're an extrovert by situations.
Correct.
Yeah,
That's
you're not a true extrovert. You're only extrovert when you need to be.
Yeah, only
Yeah.
when I need to be.
Yeah.
Because I will sit at home in silence in the dark and be fine.
So in your story, you Hot 107, working with Lawrence, doing your thing.
Okay.
How long did you work at Citadel?
Oh, it's Cumulus, man. I worked there.
Oh, it was
Ooh.
Cumulus. Okay, Cumulus then
Yeah, I
Citadel.
went from Citadel to Cumulus.
Yeah.
I think 17 years.
You're 17 years there.
17 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't know you was there that long.
Yeah. I was one of the first. I think I was the official station's first intern ever.
So I want to get here though, because a lot of people don't understand what internship means. Now,
Correct.
can you explain what internship is at a radio station?
It's work, and you're working for free, and you're learning. Believe it or not, those lessons are very important to get to where you want to be. To work for, you got to grind. And honestly, it never ends.
Never.
It never ends. Your internship never ends.
No.
If you ever want to be successful, it never ends.
Never.
It twists and turn and adjusts, but it never ends.
Do you think that if they would have paid you to be an intern, that you would have been as good as you are now?
Nope. I'm glad I had to work for free. I'm glad I did.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Because I know what it takes. And it made me appreciate the people who had it.
Yeah.
And when they got it, I understood why they have what they have and why they said no, why they said yes, how they move. I understand it now.
Because I truly believe, and I know that the world is changing, but I truly believe that the most valuable thing you can give to anybody is your time. Right. And something that anybody wants to do, you don't get paid for it. I tell anybody this, right? You intern in relationships, you intern with family, you intern with friends, right? You don't get paid for it, but you learn a lot along the way. The best lessons in life I was taught when I didn't get paid.
Mhm.
Because what happens is you get complacent with the money and you start to go on. Now you're doing it for the wrong reason, no longer learning anymore.
Right.
Now you want the money.
Right.
And that's why I want to ask you that question, because how successful you become in your life and the things you've been able to go do, right? People got to look at the upbringings, right?
Right.
You were dumb in school.
Joe, let me tell you something.
Graduated semesters later.
I was about to. I thought we was on the phone for a second, but by ourselves, I had to remember these cameras are right here. Because Lord, if y'all knew how we really talk to each other, this is so calm.
This is very tame, very. Anybody who knows me and him, we use a lot of explicitness.
We go at it.
We go at it badly.
From the first hello to the last goodbye.
Right. Yes.
Is always something included.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I had to remember we got cameras on us, and and once this go online, you can't take it back.
Exactly.
Once it's said, I can't take it back. So I gotta be careful.
So back to the interview. So you were dumb in school. You barely graduated.
Barely.
Right. And then you had that talk with your dad. And he kicked into you.
Right.
Right. And you decided, you went to college and did your thing, right? And figured out that you weren't as dumb as you thought you were. Right. And you became the man, right? And what I love about what you did was you got into radio and you worked. Now, when did you get your first job at 107? Once you became an intern,
Ooh.
what was the? How long did you intern?
I really don't remember. I had to, if I had to guess,
Uh-huh.
at least just interning by itself, I couldn't tell you.
Right.
I'm gonna say 6 months to a year.
6 months to a year.
Yeah, I'm guessing.
Yeah. So, but you was intertwined in between that. Gotcha.
Yeah, because I was still working.
Right.
I had to have a job. You know?
Right.
But yeah.
Okay, so when you got your job there, what was some of the perks?
Oh, that's where the money is in the perks.
Yeah. So what were some of the perks for you working in radio?
Man, look.
I can guess what I think it is, but I want to hear this from you because I never asked you this question.
You want the biggest perk or just some of the perks?
Give me the biggest perk.
The biggest perk for me while working in radio is that I never had to put gas in my own car.
Because you were using aircraft vehicle.
I would use that car. I would use a promotion vehicle.
Right.
For everything. Oh, I need to run to the store.
One thing about your job, I thought the biggest perk you was going to say was because you get to meet all the celebrities. Because
that's cool.
Because back in the day, they used to do tour runs.
Right.
And Hot 107 was the station you had to come by. It was either 98 or y'all, or 98 and y'all.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I think I know the answer because I think you told me offline, and you ain't got to say the name if you want to.
I don't know what you're talking about. You see, he's sipping coffee, y'all. Let's see. But I hope he don't get on his pretty white jacket.
That's why I'm leaning forward. Who was the nicest celebrity that you met?
The nicest?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Quite a few.
The one that left a lasting impression, because I know you met some everybody, but the nicest one.
Probably Shantae Moore.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. Yes, Lord.
Now, you know it's a setup for the next one.
Oh, go ahead.
You don't have to say her name.
Okay.
If you want to, I would do one of the actors is male or female. Who was the worst?
The worst? I don't want to say the name, but he was a comedian.
Okay. Male or female?
He was a comedian.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
And why was he a jerk?
I guess he was tired. I'm gonna say that now because I've met him since and he was different.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm still, no matter how much good you put out there, that first impression says, I remember this.
Yeah.
But now you're here.
Right.
So, that was the worst. But it was
potatoes.
Yeah. So, but it was gonna be. I don't ever want to put a bad rap on him because he's still touring to this day.
Mm.
He's doing a great thing from what I've seen online.
Right.
So, and no, it's nobody in radio. So if you think it's you in radio, and no, it's nobody that worked in radio.
This will be clickbait.
Yeah.
I want to. Who do y'all think he was talking about?
Hey, I'll tell you offline.
I know. I think I know who it is, but like I said again, I want to ask you this though, because you love radio so much.
Right.
You stayed in it for 17 years.
Right.
Rob, you're not in radio anymore.
No.
I got a phone call from you a couple years ago, right? And you told me that can I say this?
I don't know what you're about to say. We've had a lot of conversation over the years, so I don't know.
The situation when you left the station.
Oh, well, what about it?
Yeah.
What about it? What?
Did you tell me that? How did you leave the station? Let me just go that route.
I got fired.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I didn't want to.
Oh, I was wondering what you said. Yeah, I got fired. I got fired.
Some things you know what I'm saying? I you're my dog, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know where I can hit you at, but I don't want to like, hey,
we're in the public right now.
I don't want to.
Yeah, I got fired. But you know what?
No, hell no. We even do that.
What?
No, we didn't bag that up.
Go ahead.
How the hell did you get fired on your day off?
You know what? That is a true statement. I was technically off that day and got fired. Yeah, right.
Craig.
Yeah.
How'd you get out of your day off?
That kind of happened. Yeah, that did happen. Dang, I forgot about it. I never looked at it that way, but I did.
So
yeah, that happened.
What happened?
Oh, okay. I got to give you a little backstory to get back to that.
Okay.
All right, here's a little backstory behind that. So, you know this, and I'm a entrepreneur.
Okay.
I've been busy. You know, I believe in, since my dad's situation clicked in,
Yeah.
I always in my head have to have a foundation for something,
Right.
for everything.
Yeah.
And a backup for everything. So, I've been working in radio, but I was also working for myself full time simultaneously. So I was parallel working full time radio, full time me, both. So I was talking, I've as much as I cuss and do talk crazy, I got a really deep relationship with God.
Yes.
Really deep.
Yes.
And a lot of people, some people understand it, some people don't. So he was telling me because he showed me the growth. I saw the growth because I worked parallel for 8 years, 8 years. And all of a sudden I was like, you know what I was making in radio in 2 weeks, I was making an hour for myself. So I was like, financially, okay. I did that to stack my paper. We good. And all of a sudden God told me to cut back. So I stopped doing half the stuff I was doing. I was just doing mixes on the radio. And I was down to 5 hours a week. And even after I cut that back to 5 hours, God was saying, "Nah, you need to get up out of there. Move. This ain't for you no more. You've done that. You've reached this goal. You've done what you're supposed to do.
Right.
You learned the people what you need to learn. You met people you need to meet. It's time to move on." And I was like, "Nah, I need my toe in it." So I was just doing 5 hours a week. And I was doing my mixes overnight at home, and then putting them in the system, and I would never have to go to the building. So nobody had to see me.
I know.
Yeah. So then one day, the general manager at the time, and he walks out. He's just so happened one random day I had to go in the daytime versus I usually went overnight because that's when I worked my best. He came in. Well, he saw me outside. He came at me real disrespectful one day.
I remember.
He came at me real disrespectful, and I was like, "Really, dude?" And just being honest, I said, "F it." I told him this. I said, "F it. If you want my respect, you got to give it first." That's exactly what I told him.
Yeah.
Because he came at me real disrespectful, and I know because I even though it didn't seem like I respect authority. I mean, I like it, but I respect authority.
Yeah.
I'm going to do exactly what I'm supposed to do. And I told him, I said, "F it. You got to give me your respect. You got to give it if you want to receive it." And that's what he used to fire me.
Insubordination.
I don't know what they called it.
Yeah.
Because I said F it. Because I used
explicit.
F it. Yes.
Yeah.
That's what they used to fire me. And you know what? And then when it happened, this is no lie, Doc. I laughed when I hung up the phone. They had to do it over the phone because I was busy. I was on the road.
Yeah.
I laughed. I hung up. I said, "Cool."
The phone call I got from you, I don't know if it was right then or whatever, but when you call and we talk, you're like, "Dude." This is what you said, "Dude." I just got fired.
Right.
I said, "Fired for what?" I'm no longer at 107. I was like, "What? Really?"
Yeah.
She was like, "No, bro, I'm serious.
Yeah.
They just fired me." Right. I like, "Okay, you good?" "Oh no, I'm more than good.
Yeah,
I'm more than good." So you got fired. You was already doing your business, parallel entrepreneur, doing all this good stuff. I don't know if you want to talk about this, but I'm going to go here.
Uh-oh. Hell no.
Because this is something for me that I've joked with you over the years. You've always been there, handled your business. We didn't give each other a really, really hard time. But there was a time a few years ago, bro. I didn't know if I was going to see you again.
When was this?
When you got hurt, you had that accident.
Oh, you talking about
when you was in the hospital the first time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember that was a car accident. Yeah.
I cried.
You cried? You got emotions? What?
Yeah. I never told you that.
No, I don't remember that. That sounds
you
weird.
you didn't see it. But
Okay.
I got the phone call from Joy.
I remember. I remember the time frame.
And she told me, she said, "Do not come because you don't want to see him like this." Right.
I was in that bed.
What happened, man?
I was head-on collision. Head-on collision.
How bad was it?
Broke both of my hips, broke my thigh, all that good stuff.
How long did it take you to recover?
About funny thing, about about a year. Total recovery about a year.
And did you think at any point in time, at that time, mindset wise, bro? I never, because like that part, because you got your friends. There's certain things you talk about, and
Right.
certain things you like. You just don't.
Yeah, you just don't.
I was just glad to see you back up again when I got around you. But since we're here on Coffees and Conversations, we're having coffee. What was that like for you, bro? Not being able to do anything, people having to take care of you.
Oh, that was difficult.
Was it? Did you feel like giving up? Did you feel like that I would never be able to walk again? What was that for you? What was that dark space? Was it? It wasn't even a dark space of depression for you.
Well, actually, honestly, God provided a good, solid foundation at that time frame.
Okay.
And I'm grateful for that. So no, I didn't. At that time, it was just difficult.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't feel like giving up. None of that. I just kind of roll with the punches. It is what it is. Was it dark? Yeah. It was very dark. But,
tell me a dark day.
Oh man.
What a dark day look like for you during that period?
Oh, dark day. When you feel alone. When you feel alone, that's not a good feeling. You got people standing in front of you and you feel alone.
Wow.
It's rough.
Wow.
Like you got people in front of you and you're like, because some people show up for the wrong reasons. Some people do the right things for the wrong reasons. Because they see something later. They're not there because they want to be there. They do things just to say I did it.
Access.
Yes. Access. And to say I did this on social media. You'd be surprised how many people who help people out here just to get some clickbait.
Yep.
And that irks my nerves. You want to help somebody, help them. Yep. Don't use it as clickbait.
Right.
And make yourself look good. So yeah. But yeah, that was some years ago. I was good. I'm good from that now.
But these are when I tell these stories, I think it's important of how did you get through it? Was it prayer?
Oh, for
sure. Did you have a pastor come by talking with you? Who were you talking to during that time to keep you going?
For sure. Okay. Oh yeah. And I understand. I'm gonna fast forward to this. I know you talking about that was. I know because it was almost 14 years to the date.
Yeah.
When I'm gonna say this publicly. A lot of people don't know this, and you know this because Joe came to my house.
Now we're gonna get there. Don't go there.
That's the only way I can get because that.
Go ahead.
That I gotta fast forward to get to
go
this.
Ahead.
Point.
This is your interview now. Go ahead.
All right. So early this year, I got hurt again. That's why I've been off the radar. I got hurt again. I was hospitalized for a little while. I just do a lot of rehab. Still going through some of that stuff now. And if you notice, Joe, I don't know I got on 2 shoes today.
Yes. And 1 crutch.
And 1 crutch.
And you're walking.
Yeah, I'm walking.
The last time I saw you, you couldn't.
I couldn't walk last time. I was laid up in my bed. And Joe Lockett came to my house. I called Joe. I said, Joe, I need your help. Joe says, send me a picture of what you're looking at, and I'll take care of it. I sent him the pictures. The next day, he didn't even tell me he was coming. He showed up. Hey, I'm at the front door. He came in, did exactly what I needed him to do. Like he came in, it was to the point where I couldn't even stand up to get into the shower or go to the toilet or anything. Joe came into he went out and bought everything. Came to my house, installed everything, and walked straight the hell back out of there. He didn't ask for no money.
And still my cash app went off later. Bro.
Yeah, it still went off. He didn't ask for no money.
I didn't want none.
And I was just like, wow. No, but he had to show back up. Because he left one of his tools.
I did. Had to come back in there.
And I and for that, I'm forever grateful. It was small to you. It was inside of your skill set.
Mm-hmm.
But even to this day, because I'm still learning to walk and maneuver a little bit, because I'm messed up pretty bad.
Yeah.
And but you helped me out, and I appreciate that. I'm gonna give you that. I'm gonna hug you later.
I appreciate that, man. But another story that I want to tell here because of your no, this is good.
Okay.
This is good. The business that you're doing now, what's the name of your company? three pigeons in the what? Photo booth? I was doing good for a while, wasn't I?
Yeah, you were.
I was doing good for a while, wasn't I?
Yeah.
What you head janitor of?
I'm the head janitor of Shots on 3 photo booths. That's what I am.
All right, shots on 3 photos, y'all.
The head janitor.
The head janitor is what he called himself.
No.
But what people don't know is
the
first photo booth that you built, you and I started to work on together.
I bought my first one.
Okay, you bought the first one, but then you saw it, then you wanted to build it.
Then I said I need to build another one, and then you came to my house to help me build it.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah.
In my
because we looked at it, you said, this is what I paid for?
Right.
It's a box with some stuff in it. I said, you said, bro, come over. I need you to come over. Anyway, we built the photo booth.
We built the photo booth. And you know where I left that photo. I used that photo maybe 20, 30 times.
Yeah.
I left it to the radio station. I said, hey y'all, I left it in there. I said, y'all can have it. I ain't even want it.
Right.
I said, here you go. That's my gift to the radio station. I don't know if they deal with it.
Yeah, but it was a photo booth. It turned out good. Yeah, hey, we could have went into business making photo booths.
That's it. It's still not too late.
Very true, very true. So you have a multitude of things that you do with multitude of people, right?
Right.
And what I want to say thank you for is the philanthropy that you do, the different things, because people don't know, the magnitude of stuff that you do because you're so broke, right?
I am broke.
But what I love is that when you can help somebody, you can.
Always.
But you've always done that before you got here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You and I both have been able to do those things, right? Over the years. When I wanted, and people don't, this is a story people don't know, or maybe a few people know this. It's a true story. When I got on the radio, I couldn't get it was hard for me to get guest celebrities on my show.
Yeah.
Right?
I remember that.
I know you do. So I would see guests in town. And when they was at 107, who I call?
Call me?
I call you or Lawrence, right?
Yeah.
Hey,
can you help me? And we passed the interview.
Right. And this is what he would do. He would like, if it was a celebrity that was cool, he was like, hey, I got a partner that didn't get you on the radio show. You'll give me the phone.
Right.
You give him the phone. Or you would send me the information to their PR person.
Right.
Right. And see if they got the time that they would come to my radio show.
Right.
We were working at 2 different stations.
Right.
Right.
Which is almost partially illegal.
But
I've been gone 3 years. It's okay.
Non-disclosure. But no, I got one of my biggest interviews. It wasn't the big, but one of them. No, that was the biggest one at the time.
Okay. Who was it?
6 o'clock in the morning radio show. Who gonna come see Joe Lockett?
Was it the first person was what? Robin Givens? Yeah, I remember that day.
Yep.
Cause she kissed me on this cheek right here.
Yeah.
I got that picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, she kissed me right here.
And Robin said she would be she said she'd come by for 5 or 10 minutes at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And wound up did the whole show. She's like, he funny.
Yeah.
I like this. Right.
She's still fine too.
Yeah. And
day.
she gave us tickets to come see her play that she did in honor of her mom.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. But she gave all those tickets. We got to get to go see her in backstage and all that good stuff.
She smelled good too.
Oh yeah, Robin Givens, man, listen.
Jesus.
Man, listen. When I say radio took, like, you got to meet a lot of people. Once my name got out there, right, it was easier for me to get, the top guests, right?
Of course.
But one interview that this is something I want to tell you though. It's one interview that I want to do that I've never done, but I hopefully one day I can do.
Okay.
Not this one here, but I would love to interview either a prior president or a sitting president.
Me too. I just want to meet one.
That would be, just to sit down. Who would be really cool if I could sit down with him? Barack Obama.
Of course.
Just to have a cup of coffee with him.
Dude, let me tell you, I was in a room with him.
Or Bill Clinton.
Either one.
I got a chance. The closest I got to him was at Lawson State.
Who? Bill Clinton?
No. Former President Barack Obama.
For real?
I got really, because remember he came when he was running the first time.
Right.
He was going to black colleges and everything. Right. And remember when he came to Lawson State, he spoke.
I don't know because
I don't
remember that.
Yeah, because I was the talent portion of it.
Okay. I'm saying he didn't. I just don't remember.
Yeah. I don't remember the lady who helped me got my credentials to get it, because it's hard to get credentials to get to when the president comes in town. Then everybody don't get credentials. Let me just say this.
No.
When a president comes to town, it's only certain people that are going to get credentials and certain media outlets that can get credentials. And then there's a press pool, right? And then
is
the White House press pool.
Yes,
right. The press pool is sitting over here behind ropes, where I was. And then there's the White House press pool,
which is right there.
Yeah, that rolls around with the president, get the backstage interviews and stuff like that. And I wish I could remember her name. It's the little short lady, wear glasses, her and her husband, but she used to be everywhere. She took pictures. She got pictures with everybody. She's probably no longer in the business. Oh, I can't remember her
lady.
Yeah,
I know exactly.
I cannot remember.
Think of her name.
But bruh, y'all, if y'all know who I am, but y'all drop it in the comments. She's
a photographer.
Yes,
I can't think of her name.
And she be walking around with her little glasses on like this right here, bro.
Always doing that,
bruh. She knew everybody.
Yeah,
and could get anywhere.
Now I got her number in my phone somewhere. I got to figure out what this is.
I don't remember her name, bro. But she was the person that got me in the press pool to be able to see Barack Obama. And I thank her for that for this day, right? I got to hear him speaking all this, but I can't think of her name either, bro.
But it's now I've been in a room with Barack Obama. Just not the room just feel different when you're in that joint. Like the man powerful.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, the room just feels different with him in here.
You know who?
The air is fresher.
You know who? When I was in the room, that caught me, and you already know this. Who caught me by surprise?
Who?
Steve Harvey.
When was this?
When he first got his syndicated radio show.
Yeah.
And he came to Birmingham before there was Tommy. He was performing the first radio show.
Yeah.
And y'all got me the VIP passes to come. Jane gave me. Yeah. He came and did the Hot 107.
Oh God. Boy. Great memories.
Bruh.
Great. Not good.
I had no idea. I was a handyman at that time. I had no idea years later he would be talking about me.
On his show, yeah.
I remember his radio show congratulating me for being on radio and getting my own radio, my daytime radio talk show host.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
Because I posted the picture out there and it got back to him that I posted and I said, I want to be like Steve Harvey, blah, 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 blah. And I got a phone call. Guess who I got a phone call from?
Who?
I never told you this. I got a phone call from Lawrence.
Okay.
Lawrence said, I want you to be listening to your radio tomorrow around 7:06.
Oh, I do remember that. Because I knew it was going to happen before you knew it.
Lawrence called me because I was like, I said, for what?
Because they had talked about it.
Oh, did they? Yeah.
I knew before you did that it was going to happen.
Bruh.
But I wasn't going to ruin your surprise. I was going to let you have your moment.
I got the phone call, and I was married at the time. And I didn't tell her, right? It was right before we got ready to go to school. So I turned the radio on. I had turned it loud in the house, right? And Steve Harvey said,
Joe Lockett.
There's this guy down there in Birmingham, Alabama. That's got a radio show, Steve. You know, Shirley started it all. Yeah, Shirley started it all. And he said he wanted to be like you, Steve. Right? He's on, the WWYDE 101.1. Just got his blah, 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 blah. And he's like, bro, these words still ring so good to me today. And I thank Uncle Steve for this, bro. He said, congratulations, Joe Lockett.
Yeah. I remember that.
Bruh.
That's huge.
Bruh. People don't know. Bruh. They don't know. They don't know when I sat in the back of the room, bro.
Yeah.
They don't know when nobody wanted to give me a show.
Right.
Rob, they don't know.
All that hard work you did that nobody saw.
Bro,
and the hard work you still doing because you got on my nerve all last week. Working hard.
But they don't know.
They don't.
You know what I mean? I still have that in my phone to this day.
As you should.
And when I'm talking to kids, right? I play that for them, right? And they always like, wow. But again, like I always tell them, you don't know what it took to get to that part. When you got out of your
hold up, before you go there.
Sure.
I'm gonna add to that.
Okay.
Success is rent is due every day.
Wow. I like that.
Every day. Success is rent is due. You got to get up and go pay. Then at the end of the day, ain't nobody that's gonna give it to you.
Right.
And you got up and you went and paid your rent every day.
I'm gonna say this, and I know we're gonna get about here, man, but I want to say this to you, and I tell you this all the time, through all the jokes and all the BS, right? Thank you.
All good.
No, you would call me, bro. I don't know what it was about us, the synergy that we had as a brotherhood.
Right.
On days that I'd be like, man, I'm done. Right. I'm cooked. Right.
Done.
In my head. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired. I get a phone call for you. What's up? So and so, right? And that
sounds
brings
so clean. We should try that one day.
yeah, right. I think something wrong with you.
Right.
But you would have, you would I would say, you know, blah, 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 and I snap right back out of it. And you would just call sometimes, just say, hey, you be on the road doing whatever you got to do out there, right?
Right.
And you would say, you good?
Yeah.
That's your favorite thing. You always say, you good.
We're good.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't want nothing, but you good.
Yeah.
Right? You need anything?
That's the thing about it, man. People, everybody wants something from somebody.
Yeah.
And for me, I try to love on people and love on my people like I want to be loved on that I never received.
Mm-hmm.
That's why when I call you, when I call other people, hey, you good? You straight? You straight? Okay. All right, bye. That's all I need.
That's it. That's it. Your conversation ain't long unless we get into something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And this is the other part about you. You'll get these phone calls. Art Franklin does it to me often, right?
Go ahead, pull out the big guns. All right, Franklin. Go ahead. Go ahead, Doc.
But Art Franklin does it to me often, bro. He will call me and say, keep up the good work.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I see you out there.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
That means so much to me from people that you would never think they would call you or you would try to get in touch with. Like when I like in your phone and my phone, bro, when you look in that Rolodex and realize the people that you have access to, it's like,
yeah.
Here's the crazy part about it. When you call them, they pick up the phone and answer like it was yesterday.
Right.
That's because we do stuff right.
Right.
Because we treat people right. But I want to say to you, man, in your story, number one, congratulations on everything from becoming an idiot as a kid and getting better.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Still idiot sometimes now.
Through the tough times that you done had, right? But the impact that you've left in our community.
I did.
It's a silent. See, you're stupid. That's what I say. I can't do this with you. I can't.
I just do the work, brother. I appreciate the accolades. I just do the work.
But you've done so much for so many people.
Oh wow.
That people don't say, but I do know. And I'm standing. We stand on your shoulders on a lot of things because of the knowledge that you have shared, the opportunities and the doors you have opened for people, and you've opened up the minds of how to dream big.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean? And how to make it without social media when you're a social media expert. Now, let me say this. This guy knows marketing up and down, back and forth, the SEOs and all that stuff. But if you look at his social media, right, he don't do shit. I'm just going to be honest. But when I say he's constantly booked, he's constantly working, he's constantly on the airplane or on the road somewhere or setting up somewhere or meeting somebody or doing whatever, he's doing that.
Always doing something.
And
I'll tell you this, I didn't tell nobody. I was in Dallas last week. Just in New Jersey the day before yesterday.
I know when I tried to call you on the weekend, you were somewhere setting up something.
Right.
Yeah. You're never here.
Yeah.
But I want to say, man,
I think I was in Virginia when we talked.
I don't know where you was. I was calling trying to be nice. But you testing my gangster for real.
I know I got cussed out when I got here.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. But it's all good. But I want to say this, man. Again, continue everything you're doing, and I really appreciate you taking the time to have coffee with me this morning and have a great conversation, man. And let us tell. It wasn't just your story today; it was our story. This is the first time I've done an interview like this, right? I've had my friends on here, and we can tell our story because what people don't realize is Joe Lockett is sitting in Coffee and Conversation with the #1 podcast, right? In America right now for what I do, because I sit on the shoulders of people like you.
Oh wow. Yeah. I remember you used to couldn't talk. Y'all see I got to interrupt you on this one. On my camera. There we go. Joe Lockett, he was slow talking and he stuttered slightly. He had a lisp.
What you trying to say? I was aunt before aunt?
He was somebody's granddaddy. But he went and got some training somewhere because I didn't do this. This is, I guess, you know what? This is a prime example based off how you used to be and listening to you now. like my ear is still there, whether I work in radio or not.
Right.
I hear the difference, and only work got you to this point.
You know,
Only work.
Yes. The foundation was done from 107 crew. Everybody there.
Yeah, you were there every day for a long time.
I was trying to learn, bro.
Look, that's how he got in radio. He tried to use construction to get in, but then after the construction was done, he's like, "Hey,
no,
so you trying to be sneaky with it and end up getting what you wanted."
No, I'm gonna be honest. I had no thinking about being in the radio at that time. I wanted to be on DIY TV.
Really?
That was the goal. Yeah. A lot of people don't know that.
But I remember that clearly.
I wanted to be on, because I remember you had to come and say, I said, man, I want to get my own show. I want to be on DIY TV. That's why I was. That's why I did the with Wanda Robinson when she got on TV,
right? And
she put me on. I was a Channel 6 DIY guy.
What a Rhonda!
Hey, Rhonda, that's my baby. Just for work, did some work with her last month, but that was my goal, to be on TV. To be, I didn't think about radio. Only thing that changed me, that made me know that I could get into radio, was Eric Guster.
Man, buy some heavy hitters, there, boy.
Shout out to my boy. I still been trying to get him on the show.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Get him out of the cloud. Get him out of the cloud.
He got his own airplane, bro.
All right, get him out of the cloud.
Family, loving the family, doing this thing. I'm so proud of him. But he had his own show, and he was having me on his show to talk about DIY. And one night I was there doing his show, and I said, "So, how much they pay you to do this show?" I was, because I was asking questions, how much they pay you. He looked at me like, huh? He's like, "I own my show." I said, "Own your show?" I said, "What is that?" Because I ain't know nothing about radio. He said, "I own my own show." I said, "What?" I said, "How you own your show?" I said, "You don't work for the radio station?" He said, "No." So I said, "This is my show." He said, "That's why my name is on it." Then that's when he told me, you can buy time on radio. At that time, I still wanted to be a DIY guy.
Right.
Didn't think nothing about it. Situations happened in my life later on, right? We won't get into.
No, let's get into it, Joe. Let's get into it. No, we ain't gonna do that.
Oh, okay. You know me, I don't give a damn.
We're not gonna do that.
Hey, don't test my gangster.
Then we really be cussing in here. We'll get
But
you
no,
banned from social media.
When situations in my life changed, radio was the option, because I had seen all the other stuff, and for whatever reason, man, I woke up in the afternoon and I said, I know what I want to do. I want to be like Steve Harvey. I had met him years ago at the stuff when I was a DIY guy. Right? You're still a DIY guy. I don't do it anymore,
Joe. I saw you at my house. You still got it in you.
I'm good at what I'm
still got it.
I'm a bad boy. I'm not gonna lie.
You play some wood at my house on my garage. That still looks great to this day.
I appreciate it. Like I said, I'm good at what I do, but I now train and teach other people how to do what I do.
Right.
So yeah, but with all that being said, man, let me just say this, y'all. If y'all watch this show, understand what great friendship is.
Right. That's real.
Take time today, or take some time next week or whatever. Go have a cup of coffee with your friend. Cut up, right? Laugh.
Cuss that MF out.
Yeah, but man, think about this, Rob. If people can laugh and talk, you can't laugh and be mad at the same time.
That's
Try
true.
it. Try it. You can't.
Right. That's true.
Right. We cut up so much and we laugh so much, bro. Right. We don't have time to be, even whatever we mad about. Like you seen the other day, bro. I damn near fell in the chair laughing at you when I called you, whatever, right?
Right.
You said something to me, right? That's the beauty of love and friendship. And what I'm gonna tell you, and I know people hear this, but they take it. It's gonna hit home with some people, but some people probably won't. Your network is truly
your net worth.
Your net worth.
Uh-huh.
They've heard me say this on the show for the last couple of weeks, right? All these places I got into, all these people I know did not do because of Joe Lockett. It was because of my network.
Mm-hmm.
I was a handyman that was calling on friends that liked the work I did on their house years later to get interviews on my radio show.
It works.
To this day, y'all.
Good people, no good people.
Rob, grab your coffee real quick, bro. Want to say thank you, man.
Oh, hold on, I gotta move my mic.
Just push it back a little bit.
There we go.
Want to say thank you, man.
I appreciate you
for being on the show today, bro. I know you don't want people to follow you, so we're not gonna tell anybody to follow you.
No, I don't mind.
Okay, you sure?
Yeah.
Well, follow the head, Johnny. Go ahead and tell people to follow you.
Oh, at Slim Rob, SlimRobb on Instagram. You just follow me right there. It's not a whole lot up there right now because I've been chilling for the past couple months, but follow me. I'll be posting stuff. I'm actually getting back into it. Social media a little bit. I've made a few moves, so I'll be posting more soon.
All right, guys. I love you, man.
I love you too,
and
man.
hate you at the same time.
I hate you too, and I'm gonna pour some coffee on your white jacket.
All right, y'all, man.
Hold on. Before we go, big shout out to the producer back here. He's back here doing this thing. He's chilling. He deserves a shout out. And I say that because I was a producer at one time and we didn't get enough credit. Even though we did all the dang on work. So now that I can get on his camera, his platform, big shout out to producer. I forgot your name. You told me. Cliff. Big shout out to the producer, Cliff. So now
close the show out. Go ahead and close the show out.
I ain't gonna close the show out.
No, go ahead, close
Cliff, come close the show out.
No,
you deserve it. Come get on camera, Cliff. You deserve it.
The camera's set.
Because Joe is just a talent.
Can we get out of here?
And talent is cool, but talent ain't nothing without a great producer.
Can we cut? Can we just cut?
Nothing?
Can we just?
No, we can't. It's the truth. We ain't gonna hide the truth. You about the truth, right?
Yes.
You're a great talent.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
But
without him, Cliff.
That's true though.
You just Joe.
And I'm gonna tell you who told me that. DJ. Who is the DJ? Used to be at he said 107. Used to be at 107. But he told me this is one thing he told me. You're only good at a talent is only good as their producer.
That's it. At the end of the day.
And that's very true.
I know that from experience.
Yeah.
That's even with music.
They always tell you, let your producer walk out and see how you sound.
That's it.
Like, you're not gonna be on air.
Nope.
The commercial not gonna get played.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? The phones are not gonna get answered.
Correct.
Now that's one thing I would say that I give y'all, the DJs, that they can produce, answer phones, and do all that because you told like a Steve Harvey, Ricky Smiley can do it, but Steve Harvey cannot. Steve Harvey can't go back there and operate the boards. I don't think he can.
None of them can.
Yeah, I can now. I can now.
I don't know. I can't confirm.
Before I couldn't, but I learned because I wanted to learn all aspects of it. But can we close this interview out now, sir?
All right. Well, I want to say thank God for this, for Joe, this interview, this moment, and I really want to thank God for not allowing us to cuss while we're in this interview.
As much. I cussed a little bit.
You cussed. I didn't. I was being good. But I thank you, man. You popped my podcast.
You still talking?
Yeah. Oh, you told me to close it out. Okay, bye.
Go ahead.
Y'all have a good day. Turn it off.
You get some more stuff.
Thank you. Yeah. Joe Lockett Show.
Saying the Joe Lockett Show.
Lockett in Media.
This is Coffee Conversations, sir.
This Coffee and Conversations from Joe Lockett Media.
It's Lockett in Media, sir.
Lockett in Media Filter Coffee Parlor on the south side. Come get your coffee named after Joe Lockett.
We don't have it yet, sir.
It's coming. What else?
This is why you need to sit your ass behind the camera. We out here, y'all.
Goodbye.